Hi, I'm Brian Schottlander and I collect records. I guess I started collecting records probably when I was about 15. Mostly I collect rock music. These are three of my favorite albums that have been in my collection now for more than 40 years. The Beatles' Sgt. Pepper, The Mothers of Invention, Freak Out, and Jimi Hendrix' Are You Experienced? You can see that the cover to Are You Experienced is worn, which is proof positive that it's been in my collection for a long, long time. One of the things that does draw me to record albums in particular is the physical aspect of them. I actually do very little music download, and in fact, what music I have in digital form tends to be music I've digitized from my own collection. And I really take pleasure in some record LPs that, you know, are a little unusual, that have moving parts, and that convey sort of visual information in addition to the musical information they convey. I think the biggest pleasure that I get from collecting records is finding a record I don't have. What's also really cool, and maybe even cooler, is finding a record I don't have that I wasn't looking for because I didn't even know it existed. That's totally cool. And so you go to these estate sales and you're sort of flipping through the box and, ooh, all of a sudden one pops out that you don't already have and you didn't even know existed. It's great. Every one of the records in my collection is housed in one of these sleeves and one of these sleeves. And then probably the single most important thing to do to preserve a record collection is to store it vertically, with as little pressure on the record itself as possible. You don't want them leaning, you know, because that puts pressure on the record and makes them bend further. I think it's important to preserve albums for several reasons. Number one, of course, they contain music that in many cases actually isn't available in any other format. While an awful lot of music has been transcribed to CD and now in turn is available digitally on the internet, an awful lot of other music is not. Secondly, albums do represent a form of technology that was prevalent for more than 50 years, and I think it's important that collections of examples of this technology be maintained for the historical record, cultural record. And then lastly, the visual information that these records contain is really not capturable in any other format at this size. For a true collector, the collection is never finished.